Welcome back to another Blacktastic episode of the People Before Politics show, Sunday Rundown, powered by Black Westchester Magazine. I'm your host, Damon K. Jones, joined by my brother, A.J. Woodson, and bringing that fresh perspective, Larnaz Kinsey. Every Sunday, we pull back the curtain on the issues shaping our families, our cities, and our future, from health and safety to policy and power. It's because our mission is simple. Put the people first, not the politics. It's going to be Blacktastic. Are you ready to put your brand in front of the people who matter? Black Westchester Magazine is your platform. With over 90,000 monthly website readers and more than 250,000 YouTube viewers every month, we give your business unmatched exposure. From email blasts straight to our subscribers, to video commercials, website promotions, and targeted campaigns, we've got the tools to help you connect, engage, and grow. Whether you're a local business, a national brand, a rising entrepreneur, or just promoting an upcoming event, Black Westchester is where culture, community, and commerce meet. Contact us today or scan the QR code and start building with us. Don't just advertise, be part of the movement, be part of Black Westchester, be Blacktastic. Black America first. Yeah, Black America first. Fix the house, fix the fam. Black Westchester's New Spring 2026 e-paper is now available, featuring the life and legacy of Bob Law, breaking news, and stories that matter to our community. Read it now at blackwestchester.com. Got a sweet tooth? Come to Cupcake Cutie Boutique in Mount Vernon, where every day is a reason to celebrate. Fresh homemade cupcakes baked with love. Stop by 8 South 6th Avenue and taste the cuteness today.
Peace and blessings, everybody.
Hey,
And welcome back, Larnaz Kinsey. Our guest is calling me right now. Let me see what is going on here. I'm having difficulty sorting in bear with me. Okay.
Words before we even to the guest, Damon. So first, we need to say Happy 4th of July to everybody.
Yes.
Right? We hope you and your families had a safe, joyful, and meaningful holiday. I also want to acknowledge people who were impacted by that storm yesterday. We know many families experienced power outages, floodings, and difficult travel conditions. We hope everyone is safe.
Larnaz, you froze up. Larnaz, you froze up. I don't think she knows she froze up, but absolutely, we're wishing everybody was safe over the weekend. Let me tell you, until she unfreezes herself, and let me tell you, New York with the electricity, with everything, is really gonna get worse because New York State does not have enough power. We do not have enough power, and it's really, brothers and sisters, is really going to get worse. I didn't do anything. We wait till Sister Larnaz come back in. I didn't do anything this weekend. I stayed in my house. And welcome back, sis.
Yeah, the Matrix is real.
Yeah. Well, I mean, I was just saying it's going to get worse, right? The electrical outages, the shortages. New York, I did an article on Black Westchester. New York does not have enough power. And people are mad even at Mandami because they shut down certain areas because of Taylor Swift wedding in Manhattan. And they didn't want to lose electricity. So they shut down areas in New York City so Manhattan wouldn't black out. You know, and we're getting caught up, Black people, we're getting caught up with a lot of nonsense. And like, we're not paying attention to the fundamentals, you know, of life and how our elected officials are affecting it. And this is it with the outages. You know, I know people love the whole clean deal and clean energy, and I get it. It sounds good. But the reality is, if you don't have enough power, you could go clean all you want, but the clean energy that they're pushing is not pushing enough power. And the reason a lot of this is happening, the reason why electricity bills have doubled, is because we closed the nuclear plant. And we didn't replace it with anything. I get it. Nuclear is harms us, blah, blah, blah. I get all that. We're going to have bumps coming out of our head, leakage. I get all that. But you didn't replace it with anything. And now everybody uses AI, and AI is using up more energy than ever before. And we have to be prepared to produce that energy. You know, not just for AI, but just for, you know, I mean, look, my house is 8 years old. When I moved in, I made it a smart home. So everything runs off of Wi-Fi and electricity. It's constantly on, whether it's my security system, whether it's just having everything hooked up. And we know these TVs never turn off. They're always on. So you might have 4 or 5 TVs. I got 4 in my house. So we know they're always on. And then I got 2 Pelotons. I got a treadmill, right? I got something like a tonal. So everything is drawing electricity, but we're not creating more electricity, right? If science and technology is making it more convenient for people to live, and they're doing it through the use of electricity, and we are not developing ways to produce more electricity, we're going to have blackouts, especially in the summertime because everybody got their AC on.
This summer different.
It's going to be different.
Already.
It's different. But there was a report. Go on Black Westchester, people. There was a report that came out that there's going to be blackouts in the next heat wave. I know the Yonkers county legislator, he put up a post that his electric went out 3 times in his house. And of course, he blamed the Democrats. Of course, that's how politics work, right? You blame the other party for it, right? Of course, once he ended it with, I believe, the Department just said, I didn't see anything like that in the report. That came from Mandami. I know he said that. I know he said that. Mandami said that. I didn't see anything with the Department of Energy in the report. So I mean, what are you going to do with setting your air conditioner at 78? That doesn't even make no sense anyway.
You gonna sweat?
You gonna sweat and be hot as hell.
You gonna sweat?
You're gonna sweat and literally be hot as hell. So that's not a recipe. That was really stupid. I didn't see it. You laughing? I didn't see it in the report. You know, and the reason why I got a hoodie on because I'm in the basement, and if I turn my AC on, I was just telling my man Kevin Meggett, who just popped in, it's cold as hell down here in this basement. You know, it's cold as hell. And I thought I was doing something by shutting it off, shutting it on. Well, it's better. Yeah, but when you're in the house, here's the thing, you know, and I used to say the same thing when I worked in the jail. Once the concrete gets hot, you in trouble. Once the concrete and the metal gets hot in 110 degrees, you better have that on some 72, 65, because the house is hot. So if you keeping up at 78, you ain't doing a damn thing keeping up at 78. You know, you because like I got the Nest. So if it dropped down to 78, it's automatically going to come on, you know, or if it goes higher than 78, it's automatically going to come on. But you really don't feel anything in the house. You don't feel nothing because once your house get hot, it's a wrap. And my house is newer, so the windows ain't nothing leaking out. So that heat, that heat is just, you know, unless I go in the basement. And it's cool in the basement. It's always cool in my basement. I don't know why. It's cold right now. And that's why y'all see me with a hoodie on. They know why Damon got a hoodie on.
I thought you was trying this new YN look.
Nah. No. It might be a YN. It might be a polo YN. Listen, YNs ain't buying this hoodie. This hoodie is like $250. They're not buying this hoodie, man. I'm just a polo head. And you know, I get it. I get it. You know, it's better than smoking crack. Having a hobby. You know, I told my wife, I said, listen, my only hook is polo. You know, and Carcanine. I love Carcanine. I love Carcanine. He just got an award for something too. But anyway, you know, I think we have to look at our state politics. And speaking of that, brothers and sisters, you know, I know everybody saw the wins, the big wins from Mandami, and now everybody's scared. Now all the Democrats are running scared because they're worried about their jobs. But our guest coming up, when he comes back, you know, he is a veteran advocate. Oh man, where is the thing? I just want to make sure I got everything right when I talk about somebody. He's a veteran and a veteran advocate, and he had a press conference yesterday. He's a friend of the show. He's been on the show before, advocating for veterans. And they had a press conference yesterday in the Bronx, right? In the Bronx, to discuss what's the sister's name? Darializa Avila Chevalier's remarks about veterans, and my brother is the president of Veterans Action Now. And let me bring him on. And let me see. Oh, now I gotta bring everybody on. What happened? There we go.
Hey, how's everyone doing?
Yeah, man. Yeah.
Can you guys hear me?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Okay, I can't hear you, but I'm excited to be on here. I appreciate you guys, man. I appreciate the love that the show has showed me. Let me see why I can't hear you. Everyone can see and hear you. Okay. Well, I can't. I can see everyone, but I can't hear you guys. Can you hear me?
Yeah, we can hear you.
Can't hear you. I wonder what's going on.
It got to be a speaker.
Check your speaker output.
Mic. Where's the mic? No.
Well, he'll be back. He'll be back. Well, it gives me an opportunity to give the brother a good introduction. Oh, he's coming back on. All right, here we go again.
Can you hear us now?
Loud and clear.
Yes.
I think I
Yeah.
might have muted myself somehow, somewhere. I don't know.
Oh, okay. Yeah. Well, I was introducing you, man, and I was explaining, you're the president of Veteran Actions Now, and you had a press conference yesterday on the remarks of
Let's call it DAC.
Yeah. Because listen, man, these Democratic Socialist names, we're gonna go AOC,
DAC,
we gotta just move down,
right.
But she said things like she called veterans child murderers, that veterans committed war crimes, and
cardboard box that we
Yeah,
sleep in is our reward. It was some very ugly, nasty, vile language towards veterans, and I believe that she she the 13th congressional district chose, I believe, what 9% of the people actually coming out. My thing is this: normally I don't pay attention to too much local stuff, but she hit my attention because veteran issues are a federal issue. Our issues are very federal, and so I believe she's a DSA, Democrat Socialist of America. And my number one question is, let's just peel back the layers for a second. Does socialism work? And in my humblest opinion, the answer is no, because it didn't work here in the 16th district with Jamal Bowman with George Latimer. And so Jamal Bowman has now become the unofficial
blackface
mouthpiece for DSA, but the official lapdog for them. And so what did you do? What did socialism do for, because I live in 16. His constituent service were the absolute worst. And so what I'm realizing with a lot of these Democrat socialists, to be in Congress, you have to possess a certain amount of skill setting. Would you agree?
Absolutely.
And so, and those skill settings require at least being able to legislate. These are not legislators. These are activists. I don't need an activist representing me. I need someone's going to legislate and bring tangible resources to the district. So District 16, District 13 is going to look just like District 16, where she's at. So, like the bulk of our federal budget is for veterans and for defense. So we got to question where does she stand on both? We already know where she stands on veteran issues, but she also said she would elect to give a 0% to Department of Defense. So my question is, what are we supposed to live in, a utopia or something like that? We're supposed to all hold hands and sing We Are the World? No, we are living in unfortunately, we compete with countries like Russia, China, Iran, Venezuela, North Korea, right? If you drop your defense, what are you going to get? We're going to get invaded. And no, I mean, like, I'm trying. Socialism is an ideology, right? And I deemed it very necessary to hold this press conference and denounce what she was doing, because one, it's very offensive. It's grossly offensive. And what makes it so offensive is that the person that held that seat before her was a North Korean combat Purple Heart recipient, veteran, and has held and done amazing things in the Bronx and in Harlem for 45 years. And I'm referring to the late great Charlie Rangel. So you're disrespecting the seat by and the fact that Mayor Madani backed her says a lot. And I think he's very dangerous because he smiles and he puts on his smile on his front as if he, like he's your friend. But when she made those statements, he should have condemned her, considering I was at Charlie Rangel's funeral and he showed up because he used it as a campaigning prop or tool. And so even today, there was a veteran lunch in Queens, and DAC showed up. She didn't show up saying anything but being a prop. No, I apologize. This has been taken out of content. This is not my feelings. And so the $1 million question, right, is do veterans trust her to carry their heavy pail of water when a veteran bill comes across her desk for it to be signed on behalf of representing veterans and their families? Because keep in mind, veterans come with families. And and truth be told, I find that the Democrat Socialists of America, they're very interesting. And I'm gonna tell you what makes them interesting. 85% of them are very well educated. They have PhDs and things like that, right? 85% of them are white collar, work in a white collar position. Only 4% of them are black. I think they have very, very low expectations for black people. And but with a really bake your noodle, 85% of them are 35 and younger. So Mayor Madani is my daughter's age. She's my daughter's age. I'm not gonna sit there and argue with a child. I want to get to the root. And basically what we're looking at, this is Teen Titans running New York City right now. We got Teen Titans running the state of New York right now. And yeah, that's what it is. These are a bunch of inexperienced kids that are running with an ideology that has not none of them has had life experiences to reach that ideology, but they're sounding off from here to Hong Kong. And I want to really stipulate, I think you got to really peel back the layers and say, who's funding them?
Right.
Particularly and especially with Jamal Bowman. Who's funding Mr. Bowman? Where's he getting his money from?
Exactly.
Because he's putting out content every single day trying to shame everyone for not being a Democrat socialist. And the mere fact Democrat Socialists of America is an actual contrast in what America stands. You can't have democracy and socialism in the same breath. And with that, I'll let you ask me whatever question. I'm sorry.
Lanez?
That was a whole mouthful. I thought. So let me ask you this question. So
Sure.
do you believe this moment has opened the door for larger conversations about how the country honors and supports veterans beyond symbolism and gestures?
That's a very good question, and I thank you for it. We are, as veterans, we are thanked for our service twice a year, and that's Veteran Day, and that is on Memorial Day, and it's very symbolic. It doesn't. Both sides are actually using a scalpel to take benefits away from veterans. But there is I think what's, and this is why I created Veteran Action. Now, veterans, what we don't have is activism. So you have Department of Veteran Services on New York City, DVS, Department of Veteran Service. You have New York State Department of Veteran Service. Then you have the VA, right? That's that's on a federal level. They all advocate in their own interest. The city advocates in the interest of the city. The state advocates for what's in the interest of the state, and the feds advocate what's in the interest of the federal government. But not all. It's not always conducive to what's really good for veteran. And
Right.
Veteran Action now. And that's what birthed Veteran Action now. That there was no advocacy to look at certain laws and things like that. But I think it's all symbolic. I think we are what my intention was to do. My intent was to create this advocacy group to not only advocate but to galvanize veterans, because we're very fractured, we're very fragmented, and I'm trying to bring us together to actually fight for the things that are we didn't. These are not our benefits are not handouts. I'm a combat war veteran of the United States Navy Persian Gulf War. No one handed me nothing. I sacrificed everything. And I'm not going to have someone that is here practicing politics by way of Tallahassee, Florida, Venezuela, and Dominican Republic coming to the state of New York and the city of New York to tell us what veterans are and what aren't. Go to Tallahassee or Venezuela and Dominican Republic. There's a lot of politics down there. Do that down there. But we're such a soft target that the DNC needs to wake up. Democrat National Convention needs to recognize that DSA is. Have you guys seen the Matrix 1, 2, and 3?
Yeah, check your sound. Check your sound.
Oh, my sound is janky? I'm sorry. Hold on.
Yeah. Check your sound.
And you might be too close to the mic because it's some feedback.
Oh, is it better?
Now you sound like you're whispering.
We get
No,
it
it sounds
right.
like you're whispering.
Okay, bear with me.
Now I can't hear you at
Now
all.
we can hear you.
I'm still sounding janky.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it still sounds choppy.
I'm gonna try to come out and come back in. Is that okay?
Okay.
Okay.
We apologize, everybody that's watching, but you know this is part of technology. This is life, and it's New York. Welcome to New York.
Well, that's what happens when you start talking that high frequency news.
Exactly. They don't want people to hear it. They don't want people to hear it, so they do things to jam up the conversation, so people can't hear what we're trying to give. But it's okay. We just have to work through it today, and the weather's crazy. And all right, it's coming back in. All right, I gotta remove this guy. All right. Okay. Hold on a second. I gotta kick that dude off studio. Then I gotta. There you go.
Can you hear me?
Yo, Fish, thank you, brother. Thank you. Bless up to you too. Oh,
Oh, where'd he go?
I don't know.
Kevin, where you at? Now we can't see you. Your camera off.
Everything off. Can't hear me. So till he comes on, I'm working on an article, ladies and gentlemen, and I might do a complete video on it, because I think I'm working on an article. You back?
You back.
All right. Okay, hold on. I gotta kick off this one. Kick from studio. Now I gotta add it back. You back, brother? Can you hear you? Say it again. Oh, you chopping up again.
Can you hear us? Now he can't hear us?
Yo, can you hear us?
Nope. Can you hear us, Kevin? Nope. All right, so you want to continue about the article you writing?
Yeah. Tilly, come on. And I'm thinking about doing the video too. Black America's fears have become bigger than our ancestors' dreams, because of the fact that racism does exist today. But racism was nothing like it was in the 1800s, right? And yet, through all those issues and barriers, our ancestors built one of the biggest Black economies that we have yet to create with all our doctorate degrees.
Mm-hmm.
Now, the people that are listening, yeah, absolutely. From 1800 to 1965, we had a Black economy before integration. Yes, the racist white people went and destroyed our communities. Yes, they did that. Yes, I know they did it. But we still had a Black economy. And those were the dreams of our ancestors. They didn't want to integrate until they was told integration was a good thing. HBCUs didn't graduate Black students to go work for white people. HBCUs graduated Black students to go back in these Black communities, these segregated Black communities, and build institutions.
Mm-hmm.
So let's bring our brother back in. Let's see. You there, brother?
Yeah, I can hear you. Can you guys hear me better?
Yes, loud and clear.
Loud and clear.
Oh, nice. Okay. I don't know what's wrong with my phone. I don't know. Sorry, guys.
Well,
you know how
let me piggyback on a question that I have. If you had 1 minute to speak directly to policymakers, community leaders, and the American public, what would you want them to take away from this conference and from this moment?
More needs to be done for veterans on various levels. We have a lot of transferable skills. There are a lot of veterans that are in spaces that were national security experts. They like for instance, I can't even use her as a veteran. She's not a veteran. She's still serving. Like Asha Castleberry Hernandez. I swear by her book. Her book actually shows me how to strategically move as a strategist. But she's just one of many other people that have skill settings in national defense and things like that we're not utilizing. We stopped competing with the world.
Right.
You know what I mean? Like when people retire from the military, you just think about this. After World War II, 50% of Congress were veterans. Today, you could probably count them on two hands. Mm-hmm. And so what happened? There's a shared responsibility, and what makes what DAC did, what makes what she's doing so dangerous. This is exactly how Vietnam veterans became Vietnam veterans. The lack of empathy and appreciation for their service. So if I could have just one thing, make us inclusive, make us we should be at the table, not on the menu.
Mm-hmm. Well, I'm hoping your press conference leads to, additional advocacy efforts and legislation initiatives or community engagement with Veteran Action Now. That should be the goal, right? To pull
It
you
is
in.
actually I'm going after see, again, I'm not going to sit there and argue with these children. But what I am going to do is I wrote an open letter to Bernie Sanders, because he sits on the U.S. Senate of Veteran Affairs, and I want to know, is this how you feel? Consider that Mayor Madani and DAC and AOC, they all look at, and Jamal Bowman, they all look at him as a deity. So is this a reflection of what you feel? And if it isn't, I need for you to sharply discredit and publicly say separate yourself, saying, hey, this isn't how I feel personally, that I love veterans. And then if you can't do that, then you shouldn't be a member of that particular committee.
I agree. When you finish the letter, please, we will definitely post it, and we definitely will get it out, because that's something very serious. Now, my question is this: what will happen? Is there any and you mentioned your organization? There's Democrats, there's conservatives, there's different people. What are some of the pushback? I don't even know who the Republican candidate is. Actually, I saw a young brother that shared, and I'm going to interview him tomorrow. A young brother that shared our post, and he's running as a write-in.
What's his name?
Hold on a second. I'm going to tell you right now. I'm going to tell you right now. Where is this brother? What happened? What happened to him? Because Daniel Sanyat, Say. Okay. Let me respond to him. Okay, got it. He sent me his picture.
In real time.
That might be an alternative. We may have to find someone that should be in that seat and write their name in. We shouldn't take disrespect.
This is what I'm saying, brother. I'm going to interview him tomorrow at 11 o'clock, and I'm going to air the interview at 8, right? Because I got to go get my teeth cleaned, hygiene.
That's right. That's right.
And one more. Okay, got it. I got to send him the link, but I'm going to interview him at 11 o'clock tomorrow. I'm going to air it at 8 o'clock tomorrow night. But he's a write-in. See, my whole thing is this, and then we talked about it, brother. You have a press conference, you call them out. We do it all the time. But what is the or else, right? We always have to do a or else, because politicians don't believe that. Look how she showed. She went to the veterans thing and all that. And in my opinion, they should have stood up at attention and turned their backs on them, right? And to show her, like, with the usual politics, they're doing the same thing that the old Democrats do, right? They make the mistake and they think they're going to come out and take a little photo out with veterans or with the people that they harmed, and then everything is going to be okay.
Right.
We have to show them, and we can't fall victim to voting for him is not going to change that. No, it works. It doesn't work maybe for that election, but it works to move them to listen to the grievances and to your interests, because the next election, it might even be worse, right? You know, right. we did it in Mount Vernon where we ran a young lady on the Independence line. We had 2 months, 2 months to campaign. And that election went down in history for a third party because she had the most votes ever in Mount Vernon on a third party. What happened the next election? Reggie Lafayette endorsed her for the Democratic line because he knew she was going to win the next time. See, we have to use our independent power, you know, to change it. The DSA, the DSA did it slick. They came in under the Democrat banner and fooled everybody. And we are so sick-minded, vote blue no matter who bullshit. We're still gonna go out there and vote for her, knowing
against our best interests.
Right, against our best interests. I don't care about MAGA. I don't care about Donald Trump. You just voted against your own interests. You voted against your own interests. Listen, if the Republicans respect veterans, then that's who's getting my goddamn vote.
Right.
If the Republicans respect whatever issue, education, family, or whatever, then that's who's gonna get my goddamn vote. Because right now, New York, they get ready to take mother and father over birth certificates.
I heard. So you know,
voting Democrat.
You know, there's a in chaos there's opportunity, right? And so we can't just vote and it be a one and done type of thing.
Right.
So
absolutely.
what we have to do, and I agree, and I'm glad you mentioned, both of you mentioned that, is what I'm planning on doing. I'm organizing out of Victory Baptist Church on Union Avenue in the South Bronx. July 18th, I'm putting together like these meetings where we start to lay out framework. I've never did drugs in my life, so I don't do feel good politics either. I want something that we could walk away with and say, hey, this is our action, because we are veteran action now. So it's based in action. And once I want to start meeting.
Oh, you frozen? Yeah.
Just when he started telling the good stuff. Yeah.
Oh, it never failed, right? it never failed. Once he started telling the good stuff.
Right.
Can
you guys see me?
No.
We can hear you, but we can't see you.
Hear you.
Oh,
I got you. There we go.
Yes, we can see you again. Can you start over? Because you was just about to spill the tea.
The follow-up is July 18th. We are going to have framework where we start to put the framework to this. This isn't a one and done. So you asked me what's the or else. I'm on Bernie Sanders bumper right now. That's the or else. I'm elevating it straight to the top and let it trickle down. And the worst thing you could do is piss off a veteran, especially a Navy one, because I could burn bridges because I could swim. So it's rooted in action, and we are going to take action, and no one's going to give us nothing and no one's saving us. So the only way we're going to have to do this is doing it for ourselves.
Right.
Now, I do like Hakeem Jeffries, and a lot of people has been riding him lately, and I'm gonna tell you, I've interviewed Hakeem Jeffries several times, and what I like about him when it comes to the veteran community, he's always been very, very, very consistent. But however, if he's going to be the leader, he's got to recognize that DSA is a complete threat to his party. And so it can't be a situation of, I need numbers to become speaker. You know what I mean? It's almost like every every dollar ain't a good dollar type of thing. So, but you have to vote, and you have to be aligned with the people,
Right.
because contrary to what anyone believe, they work for us.
Right.
But the way things are now, it makes it seem that the appearance is as if we work for them. And we may have to start reminding we the people have power. And
Mhm.
there's a whole thing where a lot of our brothers and stuff is like, I'm not voting. If they don't have an agenda for us, I'm not voting. And I understand conceptually what you're doing, but at this point, why don't we create our own agendas and say y'all need to move on our agenda? Give stop look stop wanting don't settle. The only thing that settles is dust. Don't settle for they don't have anything for us. Settle for we're giving them something, and then see if they don't have any. So in some cases, you're like, well, what do you want? And most people be like, something. We don't even, half of the times, we don't even know what we want. And I'm talking about as black people. You know what I mean? I hate using the word people of color, because people of color hate black people. I'm just letting you know that. So if you don't have a black agenda, man, you need to. We have to come. See, I'm a black man first, but my secondary is a veteran, and I'll work with veterans despite what color, nationality, because that's sort of our nationality is our oath. We took an identical oath. But I plan on. I think I'm gonna answer your question. I'm gonna follow up with action. And once a month, we're going to come together, create an agenda, and move on that agenda so that we could hold not only DAC accountable, but even on a state level when it comes to housing. We can't blame the federal government for the housing crisis we're in. We got to blame the New York State's leadership for the housing crisis we're in. Federal government does not regulate our housing. The state does. And so there's so much that we need to fight for that we can't afford to say, I'm not voting because they don't have an agenda for us. We got to create the agenda and put it before them and tell them to vote for it.
Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. And thank you, Yogi Fish. Oh, one. Thank you for subscribing to the channel, my brother. We appreciate your support. New subscribers, because we trying to give black folks the best information that they can. I've been saying it for a long time, man. Black people, Black Americans have to come together. It's no disrespect for any other person, any other black ethnic group that comes over. But at the end of the day, before any of them were coming, we were fighting over here for all these rights. And now those rights are gone. As Dr. Claude Anders said, the 13th, 14th, and 15th Amendment was written specifically for Black Americans, freedmen, the descendant of slaves. It wasn't meant for anybody to come over here. That was part of the bring to which they didn't fully do it, but to ratify what they did to slaves in America. 13th, 14th, and 15th Amendment.
Do you know why we got such a big immigration issue? Do you know why? Do you know what immigration, where the concept of immigration came from? The immigration policy came. So when we were released from slavery, right? We had the skill settings.
Right.
They didn't know how to do anything.
Exactly.
And so we would brick masons. We were we were everything. We iron and name it, we did it. Everything that needed to be, all the heavy lifting in the country, we did it, and we were doing it. And they realized once slavery was over, because the other thing is the Civil War was a forced war. The Emancipation Proclamation was a forced document. You had to go back into the Seminole Wars, which were really the Gullah Wars, which is my people from South Carolina and Florida and Georgia. But anyway, as opposed to giving us those jobs, which we deserved because we had nothing, right? You were telling people to pull themselves up by their bootstraps that didn't even have on shoes, right?
Exactly.
They, instead of giving that to us, this is where they opened up the immigration policy. And mostly then all of the immigrants were Europeans, and America said, give me you're poor, you're hungry, you're naked, you what are you, and they gave them the jobs that we should have had, that would have given us an economic advantage for economic for a better way of life for ourselves. But these are
Mhm.
those uncomfortable conversations that they don't like to have. They don't like that. We don't like, we're so quick to say get over it, you know.
Right. Right. But I mean, we have to address it, but we have to have a body of politics that really will address it. I've been on AOC. Like she bastardized Black history, and a lot of these white liberals have bastardized our struggle to the point that it means nothing. It means nothing to those who fight against it. It gives them more power to attack the foolishness that they're saying. And then you got a lot of these redneck Negroes, redneck Black people who run around talking about Black people do not deserve reparations and slavery was a lie and all this other stuff, which we know slavery wasn't a lie, right? It was laws, and I think our time, when we had Barack Obama president for 8 years, was supposed to be our time. And we blew it. We blew it with umbrella politics, bringing everybody else in. And I'm going to say this today, and I'm going to keep saying it, because, you sit back and you look at what has transpired, right? Everybody felt good putting our brother Barack Obama in. We all was like, man, he's a constitutional scholar. He's handsome. He has a beautiful Black family. We got to get this brother in office. And he gets in there, and he doesn't directly needs of the Black people that put him in there. We are so emotional as Black people. And part of the reason why we are so emotional, because we've never seen justice as a body of Black people. We've never seen justice. Every time we thought that justice was around the corner or justice was here, it wasn't our agenda. It was just we just got played off of our emotions.
Mm-hmm.
Right? When you sit back and you look at what was the metrics from our brother Barack Obama as far as Black family, generational wealth, education, safety in our communities, building Black communities. The reality is that the wealth gap widened under Barack Obama between Blacks and Blacks. What he did was he prioritized college education and didn't prioritize trades. And then affirmative action, DEI, all that other stuff. White women benefited from all that. Black people didn't benefit from none of that stuff. I still don't understand how Tina Turner, they call her I can't even think of her name now, but I was going to call her Tina Turner. I don't understand how these black people are still running around talking about DEI. I don't even understand how these black people are still running around talking about affirmative action. And when Brother Meggett, if he could come back on, one thing he forgot to say is that white people started unions because they couldn't get the jobs.
Mm-hmm.
Because free black men and women were getting all the construction jobs and those type and the jobs in the wood factories and all that because we had the skills. These white people didn't have the skills.
Mm-hmm.
So when they tell you that unions, right, are part of socialism, they're telling you that really socialism is racism. Because unions were started to keep black people from getting jobs. I forgot the man. I forgot the man's name. I did a whole paper on it. I was Brother Meggett. I was saying that a lot of times people fail to realize unions were started because white folks wasn't getting those labor jobs, and black people were getting the jobs.
It was to lock black people out.
Exactly. Mm-hmm. So if unions are part of socialism, which they say, then what do you think they're going to do to black folk?
They don't have a black agenda. They have very little expectations for black people. They got low expectations for black people. But you got Jamal Bowman running around being their crash dummy.
And Jamani Williams.
And Jamani Williams, that's right.
He told me to, I'm a democratic socialist. I said, nigga, what? I said, I'm a black man, bro. I'm a black man.
Well, they put a lot of more obstacles in our way, right?
Yes.
Even the drugs that we take, prescribed and non-prescribed, when they come in our system, it's a little bit harder for us to get off of the drug.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
Strategically.
Well, because your melanin counts for something.
Mm-hmm.
And you know, when people look at me, they think I'm Dominican or something like that. But my parents come from Edisto Island, South Carolina, and that's right. It's a little island right off of Charleston. You know what I mean? And so, I just feel like you know, they do this bait and switch. They, you know, the lighter you are, the more the more you're supposed to agree. So there's a whole bunch of colorism going on too, because there's another young lady that won the DSA fight. I think she's from Ethiopia or something like that, and she makes DAC look like a Monday after school special.
Oh man.
I forgot her name. She hasn't hit my radar because she didn't say nothing about veterans. But I was listening to her. She says, "I'm not voting for Jeffries for leader under no circumstances." And these are the people Jamal Bowman is got his poms on and he's cheerleading for, you know, and it's given the wrong you know what you'll never get from DSA. You'll never get them to talk out against gentrification because they're the biggest gentrifiers. They know how certain people, they knew that DAC was going to win just by the demographics of who votes and who doesn't vote. And so it was a very small percentage over by Columbia University. And they all go to Columbia University, by the way. Might do an action down there one day. I like direct conflict. They knew that the 9% of those people will come out. These are the people they vote, and what they do is they vote to lock us out. And they vote to lock us in, and as they lock themselves in, they're creating
No, we can't hear you. You're in the Matrix again. You dropping that fire.
The devil's only allow you to speak.
You dropping that fire right now. As soon as the mic get hot.
You never know, brother. But we have to keep having these conversations, brother. And we talk, man. And me and Kevin, we agree to disagree on some things. I'm like, brother, we just gotta agree to disagree, man, because we gotta focus on what we have in common, and if that's issue you want to rock, you rock that issue, but the broader issue of Black folks getting themselves together, politically, getting our communities together, holding elected officials accountable, I think that's the broader issue that everybody that's watching, we have to start doing it. DSA is not the alternative for us. I'm going to keep saying it, man. It's not going to be the alternative for us. We're just trading one slave master in for another. And you know what? And Hakeem Jeffries, this is what I meant to say. See, the chickens have come home to roost, because when Jamal Bowman was being attacked by AIPAC, I believe Hakeem Jeffries could have deaded all that and Jamal Bowman would still be congressman. But he didn't step in as a leader of a party. This is what he gets. This what he gets. Because he could have stepped in. I believe he could have stopped Lattimore from primary, because he had the power enough to have everybody sit down and force Jamal Bowman to sit down. He did not want to sit down. I know for a fact, because certain people called me and said, "Yo, what's up with your boy? He don't want to sit down with the meat." But he had his own agenda, and his own agenda killed him. But at the end of the day, as far as Hakeem, this is chicken coming home to roost. When they changed Jamal Bowman's and the Democrats, they changed Jamal Bowman's and Mondale Jones's districts and took Black folks out, because for a while they took out Edomore in District 16, and they took out what's the big towers in the Bronx? I forgot. Well, they took out large things of the Bronx. Then over time they put a little bit back in, because even Lattimore said on the radio, if they keep certain areas of the Bronx, he wasn't going to run because he knew he wasn't going to win. So this is, to me, chicken coming home to roost to Hakeem. Hakeem should have saw all this coming. Tis James. This is chickens coming home to roost to just James, because now she's upset because she knows that she's next. Because the 5 is Tis James's power base. After Westchester, don't nobody like her ass. Once you go north, don't nobody like her. So she has to keep that New York City power base, so they can primary her. He's going to primary her, because when you take over a nation, you take over the army. She is the head of law enforcement, so she's next. You want to push legislation to close the jails and do all that? Where's the better place to do it from out of the AG's office? She knows she's next. She knows she's next. And then they're probably going to try to run Mandami for governor. Once they lock in their power in the 5 boroughs, watch what happens. And like Damon was right. Yeah, they're going to go after AG. They're going to go after the governor. And I blame Al Sharpton. I'm going to say this right now. We both clicking at the same time. I'll blame Al Sharpton too, because he put him on black people's radar. You idiot. Having him marching down in Wall Street. Having him speaking at the Wall Street rally, which the Wall Street rally to me was frivolous because only 30% of black people invest in stock. So where's the racism at? We don't even invest. And then Mandami gets up and says he spoke on top of the burial ground of the slaves that built New York, and had the nerve in his acceptance speech to say immigrants built New York. How disrespectful. He shows his disrespect to black people with a smile. And y'all Negroes just gaff it up. I don't know what we're going to do. I live in Orange County. Don't bring that stuff over here. We ain't having it in Orange County. Keep that down in the 5. Keep that foolishness in the 5 boroughs. And I don't think that was pure evil and on purpose. Absolutely. And the thing is, we don't see the disrespect. The black pastors don't see the disrespect. The black politicians don't see the disrespect. Sharpton don't even see the disrespect. But whatever happens in New York City, as far as socialism and the crime, because it looks crazy down there. Where's the bat signal? That's what y'all need, a Batman or something down there.
Well, they was using that resource on Taylor Swift.
Exactly.
That's where those resources went.
Exactly. And he's so slick, bro. He knows how to say things to stay in the press. He really is the Democratic version of Donald Trump. He really is. All the tactics, all things that he's doing, he rolled up on the Democrats like MAGA rolled up on the Republicans. They didn't see it coming. And those politics is not going to win on a national level. You can't take that down south. And then you got the nerve of these DSA out here on the 4th of July flying a Somali flag. We have been invaded. I don't care how racism, let me tell you something. I don't care how much racism plays in America. I ain't got no other motherfucking country. Y'all fuck around, think y'all gonna take over this shit, you gonna have a fucking problem. Because I ain't got no place to go. And the shit y'all selling, I don't want. Don't come into the black communities talking all that Somali shit. Straight music. I just call it what it is. I got enough to deal with just America's bullshit. Now you want to bring some Somali shit on my fucking front? No, I can't fight 2 fights. Then you know what it comes down to? What we were talking about, brother. The enemy of my enemy is my friend. It is what it is. But I'm not having it. We still trying to get up. And this SCOTUS ruling has really, black people that are listening to the show, the Supreme Court ruling on birthright citizenship, it's going to submit black people at the bottom. Because they're saying that people can come from any place in the world and visit and have a baby. and it's an American citizen. Understand that? Like, people don't read. Oh, they're going after black people. No. Black people are not part of the plan. No. Leaders always right. Yep. They have no intention on helping the people. They're just, yep. Y'all have to really understand what that SCOTUS ruling did. The original intent was for Black Americans, was for free slaves. Now the SCOTUS ruling expanded it. See, anybody can come here and have a baby and it's going to be an American citizen. And it's cool. We have literally been invaded. And you know where they go first? They go to the Black community because y'all Negroes is the weakest. Y'all Negroes is the weakest. Y'all ain't got no established anything in your community. So they go to your community, they buy up your property, they open up stores, they build their own economic system within the Black community, don't give nothing back to the Black community, and send everything back to their country. And we got a nerve to think somebody's coming after us. What are they coming after you for? You're already broken. Black people don't even have an economic system of their own. We don't even have a food chain where we can trace our food from the store to the farm. And you wonder why we sick. Diabetes, high blood pressure, and high cholesterol, all that other foolishness. And we can't blame the white man for it anymore. We blame ourselves with our Mercedes Benzes and our Gucci bags, red bottom shoes. Well, yeah. Well, I mean, but they're still in Black communities. They're still in Black communities. They could go in them. Well, we just not protected. But if you ain't got economic development and you don't have unity, then you're weak. You know what I'm saying? Like, we have the resources, brother, but we don't have the unity and we don't have the understanding how to make that into power. That's just my opinion. Yes, we do need to find out who's paying these people, especially the DSA. Who's cutting the checks?
That's important. Those are the people who need to do the
Hold on. You back, brother?
I'm back. I apologize that I'm keep sounding crazy. Right, I mean, I'm hearing everything that you're saying. I agree with about 85% of it. I think Bowman deserved to be out. I'm glad Latimer's in. His constituent service is so much better. We can't do identity politics, unfortunately, because I'm not. You got to remember, I live in the largest housing development in the borough of the Bronx. Jamal Bowman and we weren't always where we're at. He was once someone that I admired and actually sat on panel discussions with. And so when I realized he was DSA does not. I want to say about a good 98% of them are anti-veteran. And you love to quote Dr. Claude Anderson, who's probably one of my favorite human rights champions, but a lot of people don't know Dr. Claude Anderson is a Korean War Marine himself.
Yeah. He's a veteran. Yeah.
And we can't do identity politics no more. We got to get whoever's willing to carry our pail of water. I don't care if you're black, Chinese. It's up to us to put forth a tangible agenda to say this is what we want in exchange for our votes. You
Yeah.
know, and what DSA tend to do is they get broad and ambiguous of saying they want to give you everything free until you say, how do you pay for it? And then they start to stutter. Same thing with Bernie Sanders. Bernie Sanders, you know, love to talk about how he was with Dr. Martin Luther King in the civil rights movement, in the civil rights era, right? But Dr. King believed in reparations. So when you press the reparation issue to him, he says, "Oh no, well that's divisive." Well, then my vote is divisive too. I'm not going to vote for you. So you know what I mean? You can't have it both ways. Plus, Bernie Sanders, a lot of people don't know, was Jesse Jackson's campaign manager, and he didn't even go to his funeral. So I'm tired of people using our black causes to further their own agenda to carve us. It's called identity theft. They're stealing our identity, and that's what I think you're talking about with the 13th, 14th, and 15th Amendment. That our identity is being lifted, and no one's saying anything about it. But what we may have to do is ask to become. And I don't know if you guys follow like Tariq Nasheed. I kind of like the dude a lot, but he's in this whole delineation thing. But I get it, but I'm like, you know, we're gonna need Caribbean blacks. You know, there's some real down Caribbean black people that I mess with, man. You know what I mean? There's some real. So I try to wanna see that there's good and bad human beings in people. You know what I mean? But when I guess what I'm getting at is what happens is when they start to group in and play politics. I got to follow my group, which is foundational Black American, ADOS, whatever. You know what I mean? So I mean, I try to give them the benefit of the doubt, so I can't until I can't doubt the benefit anymore. Yeah, Dick?
He asked whether subject to the jurisdiction thereof meant automatic citizenship for everyone born on.
No, I'm sorry. I was playing something.
No, actually, I was that the 14th Amendment was it's benefited everyone but us, as is the 13th. Like this is what, and so when you look at immigration, and I'm also for immigration. I'm not against immigration. I'm for legal immigration. As long as you're following the law, you can't reward people for poor behavior. DAC said she's for immigration, whether it's legal or not, whether they're rapists or not. Are you kidding me? Are you serious? So I guess we're supposed to live lawless, right?
Right.
And another thing is they are very not just anti-veteran, anti-service member. They're anti-uniform. So they want to defund the police. Newsflash, they already defunded. A lot of these police officers are overworked, underpaid. You know what I mean? Like, where's the value system? I bet you that they're not talking about defunding the police in Scarsdale. I bet you they're not talking about defunding the police in any fluent upper class neighborhood. They're gonna have a police present, but when it comes to us, just let us live lawless. It makes no sense. We're voting against our own, and we have to do better too in terms of figuring out a strategic plan to hold them accountable.
We got to stop voting for these motherfuckers.
And you know what's crazy? If whoever's gonna carry your water, that's who you shoot. That's who you gonna
no matter
you vote for. It shouldn't be like I'm working with right now Democrats, Republicans, independent, and conservative. We're all working together. We're doing what Congress can't do. We're working together. Why is it that the people can work together but they can't?
Because that's the design, right? And they get paid not to do it. How do you think these politicians become millionaires in 3-4 years? off a $230,000 salary. Shit, I was making that for over 20 years. I ain't no goddamn millionaire.
You a thousandaire.
Yeah, I'm trying to figure out how you did it.
But you know, the other thing is that the liberals, it's crazy because they relegate the liberal problem here as they normalize it. The media doesn't condemn Madani or DAC or
No,
AOC
because the media is liberal. The media has been part of the bullshit.
When Jasmine Crockett, when the guy who won the liberal left, right, when he beat her, they asked her would she campaign for it, and she said no. And the reason that she said no was because that you know that was a liberal. You know who came after Jasmine Crockett? Liberal white people, and people condemned it, but they won't. It's the same exact thing, but they won't condemn it here. They won't condemn it here at all. They normalize it here.
And you know who else endorsed Tellerico?
Who?
Barack Obama.
Yep. See, I think he plays with them. I think he plays with the with DSA to a certain degree too. I do.
No, he is the prototype. I keep telling people he's the prototype. When he got in there, he looked after everybody else, gays, trans, everybody but black people. He's the prototype. He could only go but too far. And he didn't give nothing. You would think that he would at least give an executive order for reparations. The man did not speak on reparations for 8 damn years for black people. And this is why D.L. Hughley and Al Sharpton and all these Negroes talking about reparations under Trump, they never mentioned that shit under Obama. They never talked about reparations under Obama. Why couldn't you? This is why I was saying, I tell people it's over. We had our opportunity, that 8 years of Obama, to get whatever we needed because we knew the pushback was coming. Trump took advantage of the pushback. But those 8 years, we were supposed to get what we needed. And we wouldn't have cared.
Do you want to know why that happened like that?
Why?
And I think you and I spoke about this, right? What are the two things that politicians care about?
Money,
Mm-hmm.
and going down in history for some bullshit.
Money and votes. They want, and well, it's three. That would be the third one. It's money and votes, and going down in history for some bullshit. So here we are saying, well, we did damn near do 100% of black people gave him the vote. But what we don't do, we don't have a, and going back to the living legend, great Dr. Claude Anderson, we don't have a financial infrastructure that we could throw into anything, and our chicken shit celebrities won't mule a common cause. So you have a bunch of
He done cut his ass off again. He started talking at the
as soon as he starts spitting.
I think it's on his end now. Now I'm starting to know it's his,
right. It must be somebody sitting outside his house, just like, yeah, he about to spit that shit now.
Somebody sitting outside in the van like, scramble it.
Right. Oh, he can't say that.
Both Barack and Kamala said they were not going to do. Yeah. Well, Kamala, I didn't see Barack say that, but I sure know that video Kamala saying she's not going to do anything specifically for black people. Too hot. Cut the switch, Earl. Exactly. Every time. Yo,
I'm totally convinced this is both DSA and MAGA coming for it's the whole system don't want us to hear what we gotta say. You know what I mean? Because this ain't never happened on my phone ever, never. So and you know what's crazy? I want to believe that DAC came to that veteran breakfast based off of that press conference and me coming on your show.
Yeah,
because it was very I'm sure it hit her radar, but we on her bumper. You know, it was. I put together a press conference in 3 days. I had 6 powerful people with me, both from the Independent Party, Democrat Party, Conservative Party, and the Republican Party. And we didn't all see eye to eye with everything, but what we all see eye to eye with is that veterans deserve better.
No, and that's the key. And no, but that's that. Listen, when you build a coalition, you're not going to see eye to eye on everything, bro. It's just it is what it is. But you know, I mean, your platform is veterans, and that's your interest. And if someone is not applying to your interests, elected officials, you're gonna call them out. You're gonna put them on the carpet. You're gonna do what you're supposed to do. That's what you're supposed to do, right? That's what you're supposed to do. You know, I don't knock anybody. I don't knock anybody doing that, man. You know, so you know, and this is why I said, man, come on the show. Let's have the conversation. It's gonna be.
I appreciate the platform, man. It's a powerful platform you guys put me on. Thank you.
No, man, thank you, brother, because we have to have the conversation, and that's what it's all about. And you know, black people that are watching, man, if you in New York, man, you know, thank you for representing veterans, my brother. Yep. Someone just thanked you. Thank you for representing veterans. Yep.
I really appreciate that. Whoever said that, thank you so much for recognize that we are special people to this country.
Absolutely.
Veterans we are very special people. What makes us special is the oath that we took. And what I try to get veterans to do is run to their exception as opposed to run away from it. And with that said, Lincoln himself said veterans, their families, and their caregivers will be taken care of for serving the country. And what they're doing, both sides actually, is gutting veteran services. And that is not the answer. And that's why I launched last year, 2025, July 4th, I held a press conference at the same place to launch End Veteran Poverty Now. And I've been going around saying that poverty is a virus in the veteran community, and its symptoms are post-traumatic stress disorder, unemployment, underemployment, homelessness, anything that's negative, any negative stigma attached to being a veteran. Those are symptoms that we have. And veterans come with families. If you find a healthy veteran, you'll find a healthy family. If you find an unhealthy veteran, you'll find an unhealthy family. And for years, both sides have been throwing tons of money at the symptoms as opposed to trying to cure the actual disease, which is poverty.
Absolutely, man. Brother, thank you. I'm about to go eat me some watermelon and have a big jug of water.
One more question.
Okay.
So for everyone who's watching tonight who want to support veterans in a meaningful way, what can they do to make a real difference to not only support your organization, but support veterans?
In addition to thanking them for their service, there's a lot of things that you can do. I would say there are tons of organizations that you can monetarily give. I actually have a GoFundMe right now based off of End Veteran Poverty Now. people could support that if they choose to. But if not everyone has money to give. We're in an affordability crisis, and I understand that. And so if you want to do something where you're just donating your time and things like that, I would say get in touch with the VA and ask how can you become a volunteer. Join us. I'm doing a lot in terms of bringing veterans around to become more active in our own existence. And you don't have to be a veteran to be active. You could be an ally, because there's only I want to say a 3 degree of separation, but it's really one. For example, either one of you veterans?
But I'm working on see what my status is.
But you are, right? Okay. Other than myself, do you have a family member that's a veteran?
Oh, absolutely.
Yes.
And if you didn't have a family member that was a veteran, I would ask, how many of you know veterans? And usually when I go in a room and I ask that question, 100% of their hands are up. So there's a 1% separation of being a veteran and a non-veteran, because veterans strengthen communities, you know. And it's the last thing I want to kind of say. I was inducted, and shout out to Senator Jamal Bailey. He inducted me into the Veteran Hall of Fame this year, which was an amazing experience. I really want to give him a shout out for that. And one of the things I was talking about is when I went up to Albany. Albany is a ghost town by most definitions, right? There's a lot of ghost towns in the state of New York. And so, with that said, why aren't we incentivizing veterans to fill these towns where they can actually run a productive town that will fill a town, add to its economic value? And the reason why I believe, it's a hypothesis. I don't have enough to draw a conclusion, but close. And I believe the reason is because they know, and when I say they, I'm talking about the political landscape of the system, both local, city, state, and federally. They know that veterans know how to get things done, and they know that we could not only could we save this democracy, but we can absolutely probably take it over.
Mm.
No. Hey, listen, we got to keep pushing. We have to keep pushing to get the information out there, brother, because there's a lot of veterans out there that still need help. California, oh my God, it's crazy. Like,
And it's crazy. California they have a lot of land. So you have money. I lived in Harlem. Like in the early 90s, right? And I lived right across the street from Marcus Garvey Park. And when I lived there, it was just hypodermic needles and crack valves that were there, right? And I said, dang, they ain't got no money to invest in this park, because I had to walk through it to get home from work. And the answer was no. But now, if you go there, it's green. They got drinking clean water. They got an amphitheater. So the truth of the matter is, they have money for the things that they want to have money for. And what we have to do is figure out. This is scratching the surface. We need to have in-depth conversations and think tanks. They have think tanks that work 24 hours a day, 7 days a week, 365 days out of the year. And I said tanks with the plural. We don't even have one. Now, we had one, Dr. Claude Anderson had one, the Harvest Institute, but Dr. Claude Anderson is really, really up there in age. Him and my father and him fought in the same war.
Wow. Dr. Claude Anderson has been doing this for so long. And here's the thing, and I'm glad, I don't know who has been posting a lot of the Tony Brown from Tony Brown's journal clips. I mean, I was 12, 13 when Tony Brown, when they had a lot of black shows on TV, Positivity Black, the Tony Brown's journal, they Like It Is. We were like, what we grew up as kids or in my generation, what was literally on TV, you know, that reinforced Black self-reliance, Black pride, Black self-determination, you know, those things are not on TV today, right? We rarely see anything like that. And the danger part about it is people like Tony Brown, he just passed away. So I think that was one of the reasons why all these things just started popping up on social media with little clips. You know, Dr. Claude Anderson is up in age. Queen Afua is up in age, right? We lost Dr. Sebi. Minister Farrakhan is up in age, and big shout out, you know, and blessings to Khadija Farrakhan, who just passed away, right? So we got a lot of Negroes that are perpetrating the fraud with knowledge. And I'm not going to say who I was having this discussion, at least not today, online. And they said, well, you know, I said, well, what about Dr. Amos Wilson, Dr. Claude Anderson, Dr. Africa, right? What about those people? Oh, well, we're blazing our own path. And I said, well, you know, you sending people to hell. Because if you don't have, we got, and this is the problem with social media. You know, I have a problem, and I put it on Earn Your Leisure's page when they started bigging up Mandami. I'm like, yo, bro, first of all, over his popularity. And I'm like, Negroes, why are you even talking about it? Because everything he stands for goes against what Earn Your Leisure is. Like, how are you even saying that? How are you putting socialism on you talking about socialism? Well, he's hot. Well, he's hot. You just put socialism on your platform. You put socialism on your platform, and you have one of the biggest platforms in the world. And you're gonna sit here and have a conversation about Mandami and how he's hot and how it's the new thing? No, that's not the new thing. Don't give this to our people. I don't know, man. I don't know what's going on. Because see, a dude like someone like you, someone like me, we might have 20,000 followers, 30,000 followers. See, and we're giving proper information. They won't call us on the Stephen A. Smith show. You got to have 1 million followers. And even if you're talking stupid and got 1 million followers, they'll still put you on because you got 1 million followers. And this is I don't know how we get around that. Because the only thing it's doing is leading our people straight to hell. You know, and you know, just to get some likes and some clicks. So I don't know what we do. We just keep speaking out, brother, because this is insane. But I tell y'all what, in New York, I'm about to start an organization, and we call it what it is, whether it's Republicans or whether it's Democrats, and we're gonna give them a list. And no million followers are fake numbers. Probably so. And we're going to give them a list of priorities. And if they don't address those lists of priorities, then we're not supporting. We're supporting whoever check off on the list. It ain't about party. It's about interest. It's about interest. So please stay tuned for that. Because I'm this week we ain't got nothing but rain this week in New York. So I am going, only place I'm going to the dentist. And I'm gonna work on this website, brother. You know, let me see if I got the logo. I'm gonna tell y'all, I'm not playing. Let me see. Image file. Let me see. Here we go. Here we go. Let me see if it load up. I don't think it's gonna load up. Yeah, man. There we go. The American Freedmen Independent Party. Keeping it 100. We know what freedmen stand for, the descendants of slaves. And that's what it's all about. Right there. That's what I'm getting ready to push. And I'll let I'll let people know when it's time. But we have to let me remove that. I'm trying to remove it. Yeah. We have to start speaking on our own. And the first statement is going out to Kathy Hochul about that taking male and female off of birth certificates. That's the first statement going out. We're not accepting that as Black people. No, we're not. No, you're not going to do that.
Well, that ends I guess that ends our show. Till next week.
Yeah, till next week. Oh my God, yeah. I thought it would be a short show. Brother Meggett, man, I thank you, brother. I appreciate you, man.
Mm-hmm. Open door policy to you. Open door policy.
Exactly. Anytime you want to come on. And for everybody else, tune in tomorrow at 8 o'clock. And what I'll do, Meggett, is hook y'all up because now y'all have an alternative to push in that district.
Mm-hmm.
Right? Y'all have an alternative to push. I'll definitely do that. So tune in tomorrow at 8 o'clock for the Publisher's Desk. And hopefully I'll be on at 11 tomorrow too for God is in Your Vegetables. Health, wellness, and mental clarity. I'm not sure. Depends. But if you sign up, and I want to thank my brother Yogi Fish for becoming a member, man. Appreciate you. I appreciate you, my brother. We definitely appreciate. And if anybody's watching, haven't became a member of Black Westchester Magazine, please do. This is independent media, independent Black media. We are a newspaper. We're just not online having a show. We are we are actual newspaper, and you could go to you could go to blackwestchester.com, and you could get the e-paper for the spring e-paper. You could definitely check us out. So other than that, Larnez, you got anything to say?
Nope. Have a Blacktastic weekend.
There you go. There you go. Stay safe, stay blessed, and as most of all, stay Blacktastic, brothers and sisters. We are out of here.
Are you ready to put your brand in front of the people who matter? Black Westchester Magazine is your platform. With over 90,000 monthly website readers and more than 250,000 YouTube viewers every month, we give your business unmatched exposure. From email blasts straight to our subscribers, to video commercials, website promotions, and targeted campaigns, we've got the tools to help you connect, engage, and grow. Whether you're a local business, a national brand, a rising entrepreneur, or just promoting an upcoming event, Black Westchester is where culture, community, and commerce meet. Contact us today or scan the QR code and start building with us. Don't just advertise, be part of the movement, be part of Black Westchester, be Blacktastic. Black Westchester's new spring 2026 e-paper is now available, featuring the life and legacy of Bob Law, breaking news, and stories that matter to our community. Read it. Got a sweet tooth? Got a sweet tooth? Come to Cupcake Cutie Boutique in Mount Vernon, where every day is a reason to celebrate. Fresh homemade cupcakes baked with love. Stop by 8 South 6th Avenue and taste the cuteness today. There They taught us charity, never clarity. Now help the world while we suffer in the dark. Fighting for flags that don't feed our seeds, but can't build one school where our babies can read. We loud for the globe, but silent for home. No plumber, no coder, but a new iPhone. Our pain got turned to a marketing stream, march and scream, but no policy team, red or blue. Man, they both play roles. One lock us up, one leave us broke with hopes. Democrat, Republican, ain't changed the hood. Just new faces, same games, misunderstood. We vote, they win, then forget we alive. They fund everybody, we just try and survive. Our issues trend only after we die. Ain't no savior coming, it's us or goodbye. So I buy black, build back, soul in the earth. Each brick I lay, I honor the hurt. My grandma prayed for the day we be free, not just legally, but financially. Put the mask on first, then we lift the rest. If the block ain't strong, how we claim success? We ain't saviors, we survivors, building worth, time to love ourselves. Black America first, yeah, Black America first. Fix the house, fix the fam, let the blessings burst. Own the land, own the plan, put the people to work, no more mule moves, Black America first. We out of line, chasing likes, ignoring the home. It ain't fly if your daughter feel alone. We used to raise villages, now it's revenge, talking about my love, but we barely call friends. We gotta get back to black man and black queen, not war in the house, but a kingdom scene. Husband and wife, raise life with direction, not baby mamas and weekend connections. They broke us with policy, broke us with lies, made war between us, now we barely try. But if we don't rebuild that core in the house, the world outside gon' chew us out. I ain't anti nobody, I'm pro my kind. If our kids ain't safe, then I draw that line. Let them talk slick seat. We ain't here to please, we here to own, build, love, and plant trees. My son need a future, not survival mode. My daughter need a man that walk God's roads. So I lead with faith, work, and a plan. Black woman by my side, that's God's right hand. This ain't hate, this ain't fear, it's return to self. From trauma to triumph, from pain to wealth. We done saved the world, now it's time for us. No more back seats, we driving the bus. Put the mask on first, then we lift the rest. If the block ain't strong, how we claim success? We ain't saviors, we survivors, building worth, time to love ourselves. Black America first. Yeah, Black America first. Not a slogan, it's a blueprint carved in the dirt. No handouts, just hands up, planted in work. Let them call us selfish. Black America first.